All right, Chin. Thank you very much. Thanks very much. So welcome to this Global Power Platform Bootcamp once again, a global event happening across, and thanks for the sponsors as well, Microsoft and Pantera Technologies helping us in hosting this event. And I'm here, Abdul Rashid Feroz Khan. I go with Feroz, a quite long name, and the founder and CEO of CodeSizzler, based out of India and Middle East. We work as cloud consultants, helping our customers on migrating towards Azure cloud, and we do consulting for AWS and GCP as well. And I'm here to speak for the next 1 hour, which is said to be on accelerating with RPA capabilities, right? Improving your business and taking the business process to be optimized using Power Automate here. Here is a quick networking about me. I'm a Microsoft MVP as well on Azure. I'm a Microsoft certified trainer, and I've been recognized by Microsoft as a cloud advocate and consultant, holding 10 years of experience as a cloud consultant. And I work with Microsoft as a partner as well, right? I run CodeSizzler, and we are partner of Microsoft on Silver, recognized with app development, app integrations, and data center maintenance as well. So that's a quite short introduction about me. And without taking much time, let me quickly stick on towards this topic, which is huge, right? Which is like a blooming topic that we have in the automation generalized by the IT sectors today. So robotic process automation. Let's consider today's factories and manufacturing organizations. You should have seen that robotics are almost like everywhere that we see. And for decades, they have been improving the productivity and freeing up the workers to focus on either or higher level tasks as well. And now that's said to be the same level of productivity energy that's said to be increasing, which comes to the company where employees perform like high volume of business. They require support on IT, and they want to come up with a workflow process, all these things. And that's exactly where we have this RPA, the robotic process automation, that gets involved. So by using this RPA, right, the robotic process automation, there are tools that are available, which helps for business process automation strategies. You can think about like the software robots, which can easily be configured to trigger the response, manipulate the data, and we can also communicate with other digital systems that would be available. It ranges from things as simple as generating an auto reply message, right, which we were discussing with Chen, and take up a triggered action as well, build the flow, take up a triggered action, call the APIs, call the connectors, which can be even from third parties. So this is all like a kind of like automated actions where you build the flow and you make it to be worked across with the triggers. It deploys like, let's say when I speak about robotic process automation, I can consider like involving AI within it. We can consider like deploying thousands of bots within it, right? Like chatbots or something. So each of these are said to be pre-programmed to automate, let's say, the ERP tasks that we come across. And that's exactly where we land up with this robotic process automation. And now Microsoft has come up with this Power Automate where the RPA has involved, right? RPA has joined hands to go with a visual designer that's available as well. So we have like a easy to use visual designer that's available. You could see the screen, right? We have like a window, a UI kind of thing where you just go. The days have gone where you don't need to worry about writing scripts for it. You have the UI, you pick up the run workflow that you have. You can go with the error results to be added up as well, and you can populate the window. You can say whether your new recording to be added or you want to do analyze over there. So these things can be added with the UI window itself. I would simply say that you have more than 400 actions to choose from. It's easy to use. So anyone with your organization, right, who is going to be within your organization should be able to build and use the bots. They should also be able to collect the data that empowers the leaders to make business decisions here. We can also do like scalable. It's optimal for an RPA platform that can be centrally managed and scaled to as many different locations that are said to be necessary. It's also like reliable since you'll be automating hundreds or thousands of tasks, let's say like a chatbot solve, it goes without saying reliability and built-in monitoring with analytics. So that's it to be critical. No, so here we come up with the logs where we can even keep it monitored. You can make sense about what's exactly happening on your Power Automate, right? The actions that gets triggered as well. This also provides you with a faster solution, just not the designer, but the fast solution where you can design and test the new robotic process in a matter of hours and quickly optimize the bots as well. You have a step-by-step execution, breakpoints, values. So this is said to be a best tool which supports simple task-based activities. You can also do like read and write to any data source, and we can utilize the advanced learning to improve the further automations as well here. We can also go with streamlining the RPA with user experience. If you have been using like Windows 11, you should have seen that we have Power Automate that's available. Windows 11 or even like Windows 10, right? It allows users to create automations to the pre-installed Power Automate that's available for desktop app. The Power Automate is said to be like a low-code platform that enables home and business users to optimize their workflows. And we can also go with the automation where it can be repetitive tasks, and we can go with the time-consuming tasks to be added up as well here. As simple, you can also go like how Chen was speaking about. You go with Power Automate, right? You can set up environments with the admin center, connect with your subscription, and you can design your flows. You can keep the connectors to be added as well. So that's like one other kind of way that we can work around. Using this Power Automate, let's say it might be a tool which is on the Windows 11 or Windows 10, or it might be even a tool that you're gonna go with a browser-based stuff, right? You can populate any form and reduce the time needed to enter data regularly with the used applications. We can also go with performing repetitive online orders. Think about like invoice processing, tracking the price changes, populating the fields on the web pages, right? Or even the desktop applications, taking a backup, converting the files. So all these are like tasks, I would say, like the different use case scenario tasks on which we can use Power Automate, either with the desktop or with the web browser based environment. And once when you get into this Power Automate, we have a recorder that's available. So to record a flow that automates the desktop or any web applications, we create a new desktop flow and we select the recorder, which you can see in the toolbar. You can see here we have the record. You can add the toolbar here with the flow designer, and here in this recorder window, now you're gonna come up with performing the desired actions in the appropriate application or web page here. We then have the environment where we go with the Azure Virtual Desktop, the starter kit that's available. You should have already heard about this if you have been working with, okay, even in the on-premise, we have been using Virtual Desktop. Or if you have been with Azure running across, you should have heard about this Azure Virtual Desktop that's available. So the virtual desktop infrastructure includes like a broker, gateway, load balancer, or let's speak about the other diagnostic tools, all right, that's managed by the Azure virtual desktop. So it provides a complete infrastructure for you. And here what happens is that you need to focus on your virtual desktop and apps and any policies that you need to govern. You just go, you call the scaling strategy, you say the flow recurrence that it has to go on a schedule, when the VM has to be started or when it has to be deallocated. We can keep these actions to be added up with a virtual desktop starter kits that's available now. You can also avoid like the data loss prevention policies. So when you go with a Power platform and the Power Automate that you use across, we have the connectors, and you need to make sense that DLP plays a very major role against the violations that you keep in track, right, within your organization. So an organization's data is said to be critical to its success, and here its data needs to be readily available for decision making, and said that it also needs to be protected so that it's not shared with the audience who should not have access as such. So to protect this data, what this Power Automate does is that it provides you with the ability to create, and you can enforce the policies that defines which connectors can access and share the business data as such. So the policies that define will speak about how the data can be shared, which are referred to as DLP, right? The data loss prevention policies that are available here.
And yes, Power Apps is now available. We can integrate this. The Power Automate is now available as an app, which we can integrate with Microsoft Teams as well to see the workflows. The Power Automate app lets you to automate your Microsoft Teams activities or connect with Microsoft Teams to other apps and the services too. The Power Automate app in Microsoft Teams will only show the flows from your organization's default environment, as like what Chin was speaking about, right? You should have seen that he was showing you Chin at the rate some abc dot on Microsoft.com, right? So it's going to be like a default directory, and if in case if you're having another organization or if you have created another directory, you need to make sense on which directory you have your subscription connected towards it. I would show you even mine when I go with my account, right? My O365 account, you could see like I have a couple of organizations, environments which has been created. One will be in the name of Code Sizzler, and the other one will be in the name of like Abdul Rashid Firastan message. But then what I need to make sense is that I need to go with the organization on which I have my uh, Code Sizzler, right? The subscription which has been connected towards it. Any flow that you create from the Power Automate app is set to be located in the default environment that we have. So I would say, like, once again, you need to cross check on the same. Here goes the major questions like what you can do with this automation. Automation goes with like different kind of tasks. Let's speak from taking a wide enterprise organization, right? There might be some personal automations that you need to do. There might be the automation that they need to do from the sales point of view, supply chain, stock management to be done, central functionalities across the organizations. So it goes like distributing the hands towards multiple chain of hierarchy that we have in an organization. When I say that it's going to be personal automation, you can copy and you can paste it across the apps here. You can also process the information between the legacy and the modern systems that would be available. It simply goes. You can find like we can generate the reports and we can send the email as well. Let's say that I need to pass an email, right? I need to pass an email from one hierarchy of organization. Let's say between the HR and the invoice processing or the sales of the team which is managing the sales of which. So this is going to be like a personal automation that we do. The HR is going to approve the invoice that you're going to add it across, and they are going to pass it towards the FinOps team that we have. Okay, for an example. And think about like, excuse me. Yeah, I'm sorry for that. Think about like the customer management, right? The customer management is like you can streamline the applications. Think about a banking customer who is going to use the Power Automate. They can streamline the loan applications, and they can go with the pre-approvals, right? The credit card check that you used to do with the CIBIL score. This is all going to be an example where I can say that we go with the customer management to use this Power Automation. We can also unify with the end-to-end purchase cycle. One such customer that I have been seeing on the Microsoft use cases like Walmart, who have been using this Power Automate. We can also enhance the comms with the partners, and we can go on with the supply chain management where you process the PO, you go with the invoice attachments, the email. You need to validate. You need to see whether they have uploaded. Let's say, speaking from Indian point, we can say that whether the GST number has been validated or not, right? You can cross check with the date of execution that we have, and what is the hour of billing that the customers work for us. So you can track the inventory and the real time quantity and the entities that has to be kept added across here. So these are the things that you need to keep added on the recordings, right? You go with the recordings, you keep added with the actions, the flows that would be available there. You finally come across with the central functions. Central function is like one such another example, right? One such use case example where you can reconcile the finance across the incompatible systems, or you can manage the requests and you can manage the tickets like in the BPOs that we come across. Having this said, I would like to get into the main picture, right? Where we will see like how we can optimize your daily business process with the process advisor here. Let's dive into this, right? Let's dive into like the new updates that we have with the RPA, where we have like one one major service, which is said to be the process advisor that we have come across. And here, I'm going to speak in detail about how the process advisor looks like to go with the robotic process automation and how it helps you to go with the analyzing and taking up the steps further to do the automation as well. The very first thing that you need to know about understanding how you're going to work with it, right? Let's talk about how optimizing a workflow can help on empowering everyone in the business to make smarter or data-driven decisions over here. To do this, you need to first understand how you're going to work, right? So that you can identify the inefficiencies that will be available in your business process and the workflows too. The business process are is said to be a part of our daily lives, right? But for the most part, we do not take the time to understand the details behind the process that it happens. So here we're going to take a deep look at some of the key challenges we encounter with a business process as such. See, the very first thing, consider these challenges, and finally you will make sense about how the advisor, right, the process advisor is going to help us. We will also see like how the analyzer is going to come across what we see. The first digital transformation can be overwhelming because you often do not know where to start, what to prioritize, and if you're making progress towards measurable results, you also need to know about how you can come across with the flow that you're going to work across. So considering the question like the previous session where when Chen was delivering it, we had one of a question where they were asking about can I put the characters on the priority that we come across. It's not going to be with the priorities, right? So this is like when we move with the digital transformation, this is the kind of question that we come across with a new audience who are going to fit in. And Microsoft has definitely need to come up with a solution with a document saying that, see, this is how the flow has to be constructed, right? So this is like one such example where I would say the progress towards the measurable result has to make sense. Like you need to understand how the flow comes across. This is like a challenge that we come across. And yes, Microsoft answers, right? Microsoft answers. It's just like a canvas that we have. Even they say that in case if the trigger gets some error, right? If the connector gets some error when you run the trigger, you get a warning, you get a notification as well. And once when you run the trigger, you also get like the error on what was the reason that you were not able to get the measurable results as such. So without the appropriate data, you do not know where to start analyzing the process, which workflows are the most manual or time consuming. And ultimately, you do not even know where you would gain the most ROI, right, if you work difficult in a different environment. Secondly, the process are said to be complex, or you might feel that it's said to be unknown. It's often that there are numerous unknown steps that gets involved. And even if you know these steps, there are often disconnects between teams, business, and your process as well. It makes it impossible to know where to begin or what exception might be made. And here we go. Finally, the new ways to work is said to be hard. This some kind of challenges that we have seen with the customers, right? Uh, they have a hard time knowing what to change in our process, and we often rely on people to define the process, but there are often not followed by everyone as well, or they quickly become out of date, making it difficult to know where to change the workflows in the process. We have the process advisor coming as an answer for all these things, which is a part of Microsoft Power Automate to help navigating these changes that we have. So when you speak about the robotic process automation, we have the Power Automate with the process advisor that helps you to guess the work of what you need to do for the next kind of actions that we have. Let me get into the picture. See the process advisor here. The process advisor is exactly where you go on with the Power Automate. It brings together two powerful capabilities for you. I would say that it's like an exciting feature that we have, right? It provides you with a new capability which is related to process mining, and it's now available. It's no more in preview. I'm sorry, I need to modify this deck. It's no more in preview. We have like even the task mining, the other one which does. So task mining, which has been generally available from the late of 2021, it enables the business users to capture their actions on the desktop as well. And now with the process mining, you can use business data from your core applications, which are key to understanding the cross-departmental and the core enterprise business process that can be executed too. You can just go like visualize your process, and we can also take the actions here. Process mining is said to be the step, right? It's available in the process advisor, and it ties together the insights that you get from your business process with low code automation in the Power Automate. So this simply helps your organization to even go further or streamline your work across here. So as a result, right, as an answer, I would like to come across streamlining your business process to build at scale. You can collect the customized insights and the deeper insights as well. So first, the initiative interface makes it easy to get started. Whether you're a data expert or a business user, the process mining as an initiated experience to guide you through easily onboarding your business data. And secondly, customizing insights. So you can select the attributes from your business data to serve as filters in the resulting process analytics. And finally, this deeper insights where we can go with the process map and analytics, which helps you glean the insights. It's going to be into your process here. So the easy to use custom filters provides a fast track to identify bottlenecks and repetitive activities that will be available in the process. And the next comes like 5 easy steps to get process. The very first step, I would say create. First, you create a process by launching the initiative wizard from the process advisor to set up a new process. And secondly, the data. You upload your data from your system of records from your organization using the embedded data flows to select your data source here. The third that we have is that customizing. So you customize your analytics. It filters by selecting the desired attributes to create your custom filters. And the fourth one, where we are going to analyze, you analyze your process with a process map that outlines the steps to the time duration and variant frequency to provide you with greater details behind your process. And finally, based on the process map and deeper analytics and insights, you can zoom in on where the key bottlenecks might exist in your process and start looking for ways to optimize your process there. Let me get into a demo, right? I will show you like how this process advisor is going to work with the robotic process automation to optimize your business needs. Let's go on here. So I'm here. We go on with adding up your process automate to come across. Let's say, as Chin was mentioning about, you can go with simply the Power Automate, right? Power Automate. Can you see this? We have powerautomate.microsoft.com, and you can start working from here. Excuse me. Let me see. Sign in, and I will see when you work on this. I was pretty late to join the session before, right? I hope you should have received an insight from Chin that you need to keep the extensions to be added up. So you might be using Chrome or you might be using Edge. Please make sense that you go, you keep the extensions to be added. If you could see here in the extensions, I would say manage extensions. Can you see this? I have the Microsoft Power Automate which has been added up here. And now let's say powerautomate.microsoft.com. And let's go with the process advisor here. Sign in. See, this is the Power Automate window that we used to get. And you can find like the plenty many templates that are available. If you have already built that, you go with the my flows and you can see the flow like what previously you have been building it across. So now my concept is set to be with the process advisor that we have. Process advisor is said to be the one which is built on the features and capabilities of the Microsoft Power Platform. So as I said before, it's going to generate insights. This is going to be like recording the actions that can perform on your computer. So I will go with this process advisor. And if I need to create a new one, I can go to the solution. I can even keep it uploaded. So let's go to the solution. And I would say like I need to create a new one to optimize your business process. See, I can say a new solution and I can keep it to be added up here. Or if you have the solution file with you, you can even say import and click on browse. You can keep the file to be uploaded over here too. So one such thing which I've already uploaded here is that you can see RPA in a day process advisor, right? I have added it as the remote processing that we are going to do with the day process advisor. So this is going to help me out to find like the various recordings all that can be kept added up. Let me open it here and you can find the objects. You cannot directly edit the components. That's fine. Okay. See, these are all the different kind of actions that we have here. And they also have segments which can be related. Like if you are gonna add the chatbots, you can keep it listed up, right? So this is like all the combinations that we have. It might be like PM recording or the desktop flow that it goes on. So this has been built by Shakti Main, and where they say like the desktop flow will be given up here. You can manage your flow. This is exactly what we were seeing previously, right? You have the flows. You can go to the flow and you can customize the flow that we have here. And once when it runs, you can find the run history all, which can be given up here. And we can also provide access for the other people across. So keeping this on mind, let me go. I will say I'm going to work on this solution, which is said to be RPA in a day process advisor. There could be like various recordings that would be available. You also get the details about, let's get into this. You find like who created them and by what time they created it. What's the status of it, right? Status is off. You can find all these things here. Now let me go. I can see that I need to keep this to be analyzed. So what we will do is go to the process advisor, back to solutions, open the process advisor. You can find it here, the RPA in a day processor that would be available. Can you find this? We have invoice submission process, which has been submitted. So this is a recording. And to do the analyzation, we can click on analyze and that can keep it performed. So when you say analyze, that'll be like different kind of action. See, one such thing is in progress. In progress means that the recording is in progress, but it's also possible that the recording has not yet started, right? The recording happens in the desktop client. The web portal will have no idea about the status until it has been saved as such. So you can also view the status after the recording has been saved, because some processing is required after the recording to make it ready to view as such. And this, when we say analyzed, it means that the recording has been analyzed and it's a part of the analyzed output that can be viewed through the analytics screen. Let's go on. We shall start with the first recording, right? To do that, you can click on new recording. You can do it from, see, we have an app that's available. You can go with the same to do that. If you don't have the app, you can say get the app. It will get it downloaded and you can start working on the same. So this gets landed up. See the Power Automate, getting the things ready. And there we can say you need to do a new recording. Can you find this? We can say record and we can keep the actions to be added up over here. We also have the process. So to go with the process, you go up here, you can say a new process to be added up to. So we can give new process, and let me say for an example, it's going to be invoicing process, which we keep it added. And let's give it as accounting, logging, which I was speaking on the date, logging and processing of invoices. And let's click on create. This looks for the recording to be added up, right? This process was created. And now we can say that you need to add a recording. Click on add a recording and we can keep the recording to be added. Right? So this again opens your Power Automate. Just hold on for a second. See, we have the Power Automate, which gets opened up. The desktop recorder window of the Power Automate for desktop is this. Here. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, here it is, right? We get it here. And you can keep like click on record and you can keep the actions to be added up for the same. Now we will perform as usual. You can say record and we can keep the actions to be added. You say comment and you can say like what it has to do. Let's say click element in window, right? This can be one such thing. You can say like what are the other actions, the repeated actions that has to be added up with the recorded action here. So this one such thing, and within this, I can say, go with a left click on UI element. Sorry for the typo, which can be like text invoices that could be added, just for your understanding. Okay, you say text invoices with this is set to be intent on the screen. So keeping this to be added, we can add like multiple recordings. Okay, and once when you're done, you can click on finish. Let's say, for example, I'll keep this to be added like this. We can say finish to keep this recording to be added up. Be saving your recording. You should have multiple recordings, at least two recordings to do analysis. See your recording has been saved. You can say view the recording with H. I have it here. Just hold on, it's getting loaded. Okay, having said that, you can also keep the recordings to be edited and you keep your group actions to be added up too. So when you're in a process of seeing the list of recordings here, now it's getting ready. You can see like the list of recordings that you have added up. You can find like it's either in the progress state or it has been analyzed. We can keep all those things to be added up too. It goes on with ready to analyze. And we can say like you edit the text box to say what action is to be added. That will be available here. I'm just waiting for it. Okay, let's go here. I have my recordings which are already available in the previous process. Can you find this invoice submission process that we have? So let me go up here and you could see like the different recordings that are available here, right? See, these are all like the different recordings that we have. So here you can take up any of the recordings. So this is an no recording details. Okay, let's go with a different one, Christopher. So these are the recordings that we have. Now, makes sense. We have the timestamp. They say open the Excel sheet. If you want to edit, you can select and you can say like we can keep this to be edited. You have your screenshot. See, they say the process button in window, and the button is where it's a description for you to understand in taskbar. You're going to type there to search for it. They also have like UI element in the window, and we have like a legacy invoice app that would be available. So all these things is where you do the customization. If you want to keep a new activity to be added up, you can click on add activity, right? And we can choose a new name for your activity. Or if other recordings is in the process, which has been already grouped, we can also list it up over here. And finally, once when we are done with this, let me say close, I can go for analyze, right? You can click on analyze. This is where we're going to analyze the recordings and interpret the results. So you can say analyze this process and click on confirm. I repeat it again, please make sense. You should be having at least like two recordings that has to be available, grouping up the actions so that you can take the analyzation to be done. See, once when this is done, no, the analyze has been done. So Christopher, the analyze has been done by me. And let's go for the analytics. The analytics screen will be like a flow chart that you can see, the preceding image showing many metrics that you need to consider. So it's getting loaded. The first one that you will be seeing is to process the map. And you can like enlarge the process map by selecting the focus mode icon that will be available. Let this get loaded. In the meantime, just have a theoretical understanding. Okay, the variance is there. See, the process map will be available here. The process map is where you're going to break down each activity in an order. So it also shows the average amount of time for each activity and the variations that will be available in the process. The process map shows that 6 recordings, or let's say a list of recordings. Maybe I guess it was like 3 recordings that we added up from the Christopher part. So that will be analyzed. Okay, you see here, we have the recordings that are available. Okay, and the user is going to start, is going to download the invoice attachment from the email, and it gives the time metrics. Also opening up the Excel with the invoice list, opening the invoice from OneDrive, the time that it takes, entering the invoice details, save and submit, right? Notifying the other team that it has been submitted as such, and that's the end of the process that we came across. So totally we have like 5 recordings. The 1 here, 2, right? The third one, and we also have the 4 and 5 here. which has been added up. We have the trigger that has been given up for the same as well. The average time that it takes for running it, it has been mentioned here that 1:47 minutes, right? 1 minute and 47 seconds. You also have the date filter all that's available there. The next row that you find here is variance by frequency. So variance in terms of frequency, and here you can find with a slot on the time as well. So by comparing these two, you notice that the variant has like the lowest frequency, the variant one has the lowest frequency, but the greatest time has to be completed, right? We can make sense with those things here. And with this, you also scroll down, you can find the recording by time in a minute. We have all the other recordings that it gets listed up with the time and minute that we have here. So this is for Shakti, this is for Christopher that we have. So this is all like the recordings which has been executed with different time interval. In addition to the information on your process here, you can also find analytics on various applications. So that's exactly what has been mentioned here. It has been like used in your process on the application tab. You can view which invoice has been opened, which invoice has been submitted, right? And what's the time that it takes for each and every invoice details to be processed as well. We do have some automation recommendations that you need to consider. So within your process map, you might see like, can you find this blue icons that we have here on the various activities? So this is going to be the blue screen icons, which are recommendations for automation. Let me click here. Can you see this? I hope you're able to see the trigger kind of icon, right? So this is going to be like Power Automate that access the information, like the time, the applications, the invoice that gets involved in the activity, and as like further recommendations as well that can keep that across. Excuse me. So clicking on this, we can go on. We can click like the focus. We can keep this to be edited if you have created this flow as well. We get like a new flow with suggestions from the connectors that are grouped by activities based on your process for the same. Followed by this, you can find the application part. Let's wait for this. Yes, here we go with the application. We have the different kind of recordings. You find the apps which has been used and the time that it goes on with the access, right? The time spent as well in the actions that you come across. We also have like time spent by each and every application, like legacy, invoicing app, the Explorer, calling it on the Excel. So this is all like different layers that we have, right? Calling it in Teams, Outlook. Let's say you want to download it towards OneDrive or so it lists up about the time that it takes on. And you find like all the activities which has been given by the chat, and here is like the recordings, downloading the invoice attachment, entering the invoice details. We can get the application level of details by keeping up a filter to be added on over the same. It speaks about the apps that has been used and the time that it takes for the apps to be consumed on, and opening the invoice from the OneDrive vault. So it lists up all the details over here. This is said to be the automated activities that you come across, right? You see, we have automate activities. So by selecting this automate activities, if you want to connect to any legacy applications, the Power Automate for desktop is available as a connector. So we go up here, you find like automate activities that would be available. The automation recommendations can guide on like the non-developers on how to create a solution on their analyzed process the right way. This is said to be about your robotic process automation, I would say, right? And it also goes on. Like you can set up the robotic process automation, and we take the time like how many recordings can be analyzed. You can put up the process advisor role over here as well. So with that, I have like, yes, exactly like another some 10 minutes or more. You can keep me known in case if you have any questions. Any questions on the teams? Let me check. Give me a minute. Oh, there are a lot more chat conversations. You can turn off your mic or you can keep your questions to be posted on the chat, please.
I'm just holding on for your questions.
Yeah. So what kind of use cases with respect to general we use it mostly?
Uh, if I'm not wrong, your question is, Sunil, you're asking about in what kind of use cases can I stick on towards the Power Automate? Am I right?
Yes.
Yes. So the Power Automate can go on like, let's say you have some automated actions to be involved, right? You're not going to have like any kind of human interface or net interactions to be resisting as such. So one such example is where I was speaking on the personal automation that you can do or consider your environment where we do like invoice processing. The example which I was showing you now, you go, you submit an invoice, you need to keep it downloaded from your OneDrive, or let's say you want to fill up the invoice, you need to submit it towards your operations team that we have, right? The finance team that you have. There you can go with the automated actions to get involved. The use case is set to be wide. The use case is set to be up to you. Any use case that you say, like you want to take some business processing actions. Again, coming back to the invoice or sales order to be processed, purchase order to be received, right? Keeping a ticket to be triggered in a business processing unit, or in those cases, we can use the Power Automate. It's going to be like a wide kind of use case. Any actions, whatever you build with the Power Platform, it's going to be the same to go with automated actions, which you can run it over here.
Okay.
You're getting it, Sunil? Yeah. All right. Hi, SB. What would be the recommended infrastructure setup for desktop flows, unattended mode or attended with service account? This depends actually based on the organization, like how you're gonna come up with a policy, right? Unattended mode is like let's take a simple example like how we were discussing before on the ARM templates. All in those cases, you can go with unattended mode where you can provide the desktop flow. But in case if there's going to be like a service connections that you can keep it involved, you have DevOps, you're going to perform like CA and CD operations. All in those cases will be having a service account that gets involved there. AI builder. Yes, exactly. We have few of the connectors, like even the chatbot integrations. All you should have seen here in the Power Automate. We have the AI builder that's available. I'll keep some hyperlinks to be shared with you on the chat, right? And that would be helping you out. All right. Thank you very much, Shane. Kavin, hi. Sir, is it possible to automate Teams recording when the user starts the meeting? Yes, we do have the connector that's available. We can automate like the Teams recording where the process gets initiated. You can simply go. You have the templates even available. I was happened to see like one such template which was available yesterday. So you can go. You can open up the gal on the Power Automate. We have the template that's available. You can run the action to it. It's there on the template, which is on the Power Automate. Okay, you just log into your Power Automate now. You can find it on the templates there.
ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಹೋಗಿತ್ತು ಯಾಕೋ ಬರಲ್ಲ ಕವರ್ ಅದು ತುಂಬಾ ಒಯ್ದು ವಾಪಸ್ ಇಡು ಮತ್ತೆ ತಂಗಿ
Hi, yeah.
Feroz, can you unmute yourself and start?
Oh, I'm sorry. I
Yeah,
did not notice that.
at all.
Okay, fine, Thermal. Thanks. Kavin, your question was answered, right? I just want to check with you if I was audible to you. Okay. See, there are a couple of ways, Kavin. One is like you go with the template. The template is available, yeah, with the Power Automate. The other alternate is that the one which has been provided by Chin. You can go. You can do it from the Teams as well. Excuse me. Well, all right. I'll be holding on more. Like we have another, widely like 15 minutes around. You can keep your questions to be posted. We can even keep it wide, right? The previous session that we had from Chen, if you have any questions, we can even keep it more interactive and healthy. The next session is going to be about the super hot topic that we have, the security and the governance policies that we have with the Power Platform environments. And we have Satish here, who is a solution architect from AstraZeneca. It's going to keep you much engaged as well.
Well, we have another 12 minutes of time, and I would appreciate if you can keep your questions to be posted in the meantime.
Since you have some more time, I have a question regarding the RPA template itself for this Chandran here.
Yes, Chen. Hi.
Yeah, hi. The question is I've never used RPA by myself. I just want to understand if I can integrate additional. Can I use additional connectors with the RPA? Say example, I have got couple of documents. I need to scan it. I need to process the data and do some invoicing stuff. Consider I have a physical invoicing. I don't have a digital invoice. So I need to scan it and send it across to the RPA. Then there I just need to take additional steps apart from what RPA gives it to me in the RPA template. Can I use some connectors can I use some integration with other APIs through HTTP trigger, something like that? Is it technically possible?
You can actually do it, Chin. So consider you see you have data and we have some custom connector options that's available with the Power Automate, right? So it might be like a HTTP pointer on which you need to get it connected. So your point is you wanna scan some physical papers and keep it to be added up for the automated actions. So in that case, we have the premium connectors that's available. You can go to the data, and the Power Virtual Agent subscription should be there, or the Power Automate should be there, and we can keep the custom connectors to be added up. So I actually speaking, I don't have practical knowledge on implementing with a custom connector, but just surfing on the same, I see the options that are available here. It's there available with the docs itself, the connectors where you put up the custom connector to the other.